Hello ladies! Here's your brief tutorial on how to do bilateral symmetry in Adobe Illustrator. So you're going to start with your artboard. You have your 6 inches by 6 inches artboard. And the first thing you want to do is go to View in your menu bar, go down to Guides, go down to Rulers and slide over to Show Rulers. You'll see that the corner starts at 0. And since this is going to be 6 inches, it shows you that it stops at 6. And therefore the center of our artboard is going to be right at that 3. So if you click right in the line of 3, if you double click on the ruler, you're going to get a guideline. If you double click off the ruler in this background, you're not going to get anything. So make sure you're clicking on the 3 and make sure it's really on that line. It's important that this is going to be in the center for this to work. And then what you're going to do is go ahead and start working with your layers. Open up your layers and think before you start working about what's your background, how you want to have things separated. Layers let you select certain things and lock others, so that way if you have a complicated image, it makes your life a little bit easier for editing. Now, I already have some things on here for the sake of time. So if I have my background, let me make that visible. It's just a rectangle filled with black that goes to half of my canvas. And now obviously you're going to have your own design, so you're not going to be just copying what this is. But it's helpful for this part if you have a background that only covers half the artwork. Even if you think your whole background is going to be blue, you'll see why it's important to only work on half the canvas for as much as possible. And now I'm going to do a super simple sugar skull. So I've already made the shapes, and I've already worked with arranging some of those. You can see it's a circle. You can see the circle is filled with white with no outline. Same with this rounded rectangle, and now we have a pointy rectangle. Just a reminder, if you have something with points, or edges rather, you can take a widget, and you can use your direct selection tool, which is your white arrow. You can, and this is why I'm going to actually lock my background. I can select just the corner of this one shape and pull that in to make it rounded, which is kind of helpful. And it might be hard to see, but there's actually, since the skull is gray, you can see that these shapes go over the middle line. Now what you want as much as possible is to not have any of your shapes or any designs that go across over the middle. So to fix this, what I'm going to do, in order to make it I had it go over the middle, but in order to cut it in half, I'm just going to draw a rectangle along my center. I'm going to take my selection tool, I'm going to select all my shapes, and I'm not selecting the background because the background's locked. That's convenient and that's important. I'm going to go to my shape builder, I'm going to hold down option, and I'm going to delete everything on the right side. Now I have half of what can be a skull. So I can make one quick eye. And I'll go to, let's say, I'm going to stay on the skull layer. I'll lock decorations for now. I'm going to stay in the skull layer. If your layers go away or you can't see layers, remember you can go to Window, and go to Layers and click on this, and your dialog box will pop out. And let's make one quick eye. And just as a reminder, if you go to your direct selection tool, you can change these shapes to be very specific. So I can double click on my anchor points and pull things around so I can get a more specific shape of what I'm looking for. And you're going to see also that when I let go of this image, when I let go of it, it's not going to be visible. You can see that it's actually going to be a see-through stroke and a white fill. So if I click off of it, it looks like it goes away. So I'm going to take that and fill it in with black. Now I have an eye. And for decorations, let me lock my skull and unlock my decorations. Let's pretend there was nose and teeth and all that stuff. If you want to do something that you want to repeat, let's make some fun little markings with the paintbrush tool. I can always select something that I do that I want to repeat. So I selected it. I can hit Command C, then Command V, and Command V, and Command V, and I can use these. I can change the orientation of something. So if you ever think it's faster to do copy-paste, that's one of the available tools that you have. And I don't think that actually is faster for copy-paste. And let's pretend that this looked better than it does. But now I have an eye with some decorations around it. And I definitely want to make sure nothing's crossing the center line. Because what's going to happen is once your artwork is designed on half your artboard, you're going to go and do the following steps. You're going to go to your your selection tool, your black arrow. You're going to select your artwork. And actually I have to unlock everything for it to get selected. So let me do that again. Everything's unlocked. Now I have a selection that includes everything. And what I want to do is I want to go to object. And that's going to make sure that all these things actually stay grouped together. Once it's selected, I'm going to do Command C and B for copy paste. And now my pasted one is the same as the original. And it's selected. So I'm also then going to do object, transform, reflect, and it should say vertical because you want to flip on the vertical axis, and you should flip it by 90 degrees. You should hit OK. And then what's going to happen is you can place it. Take your time placing it because you want to make sure that's placed so that is actually lined up. You might, to do that, have to actually zoom in. Sometimes things can look lined up, but they're not. And if you have anything like a stroke that goes down the middle of your object that you want to delete, you can do that with, you can like make a paint tool that's white or black or the color you want to delete or fill in. But hopefully half your artboard was actually filled in, and then when you do your copy paste, hopefully you don't end up with a seam down the middle. If you do have a seam, take your time to go in and cover that up, whichever way seems to make the most sense to you. The last thing we're going to do is I do want to delete these guidelines, but these guidelines look like they're attached to the entire image. See how if I select a guideline, it selects everything? So I'll do one last selection over everything, do object, ungroup, and now I can select just my guidelines and I can delete them. So I can see that I do have a seam there, and I would want to fix that, but that's essentially how you do bilateral symmetry in Adobe. You make something on half the artboard, and then you select it. You go to Object, Group, then you go to Object, Transform, Reflect, and that should give you your bilateral symmetry. Can't wait to see what you do.